Hey guys, welcome back. We had a good Thanksgiving. It's December 1st. We're going to review 0-day options I took on Spy on the small count challenge. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope it was a good one. And today's kind of a tight range day. Let's see, 660. Wait a minute. Our range today. Oh, 678 to 682. Only about 4 points. So relatively tight for what we've been doing. Just building liquidity up in this kind of wedgy spot. Here's SPY day trading on YouTube's 30-minute chart. We broke out of green last week. Didn't quite complete this cup up here. Looks like we're building liquidity now, magenta, and wedging between yellow as well. Here's 5-day and 20-day. Yeah, today I had some trades. I was away a lot, which was good because this was a chop fest after 12 o'clock. I guess there was this trade here. I was already gone for this, I think. Yeah, let's get into it though. So there's a bit of a gap down. Yeah, it looks like it did end up, fill the gap. But it was right, or was it right here? It filled the gap. Just such an ugly spot to fill. It wasn't like a nice rip up to it. It was just a disgusting grind. Even coming through here, like options were not even really appreciating for this. I'll show you. I started with white, and then I started that white buying, precision buying algo, and after that I got gold, and then we complete the inverse cup. So I was a little bearish. Also, since there wasn't much liquidity up here that looked like, and there was liquidity here, I was looking for the handle. Purple I got from this resistance that flipped to support right there, and then it did confirm more for me down here. That lined up with low of day, and these candles bouncing on that. So that's what I had in the morning. Purple's a little bit different. Green I didn't have at that point. Green I got from this resistance, not support. I did get that pretty early on though. Just I was looking for less aggressive bullish controlled selling, which is what this was. And I think this one stayed legit. I'll have to look at it later on in the day and see what happened. Sometimes my morning, it's crazy when I chart stuff in the morning, and then if I'm like not really looking at it, and then I come back hours later and it like perfectly followed what I had charted in the morning. It's just cool to see. Like this white right here, charted that right here, like this time of day, from this resistance flipping into that resistance, flipping to that support. It did kind of break through here, and I'll talk about that trade. It was also somewhat this support down here. It's a little tricky though, because all these wicks kind of all made up even low. I had it for this resistance right here, kind of hit it here, and then broke through it here, but I think it was the same degree, just higher than all those. But yeah, to see it kind of test it down here was pretty cool. Later in the day, let's see the trade. It was a little frustrating. Yeah, I just made errors actually. I just made mistakes. I wasn't seeing what was going on. I was pretty confident, quite confident actually, which felt good. 946. I was in a put. Yeah, and I think it was because of my sizing too. It was the trade I sized up on. 946. I was in a. Oh yeah, this was ridiculous. Or no, this was the one. Yeah. Okay, so waited through all this. Like I said, I was looking for a handle potentially. I didn't have green at that point. Didn't have white. Had this white, and then orange maybe. And then I think I had purple. So when I got up to purple, which is right here, I got a put, with purple being my stop. I could have been a little more patient, I guess, to wait for more of a rejection. It was rejecting when I got it, and then that candle closed full body. Could have waited for it to break orange, although I didn't have that. But I waited for it to break white at that point. That could have been here. So, and that's basically the whole trade right there. So that's why I was a little aggressive. It's a tight range still, so aggressive on my entry, which is a little risky. And yeah, I'd stop out on this candle. 78 cents to 70, so kind of an ugly stop. Then I complete the cup, and then it bounced off of this, which I didn't have this at that point. I drew this because of it bouncing here, the green, which I then saw here for support potentially. Next trade was at 1026. It was a call. So did that, came up. I'm looking for that point. Purple, I was somewhat confident with to build liquidity. Potentially green. Wasn't super confident either one yet because I hadn't seen a whole lot of structure supporting it. Then when this came down, I got more confident in purple. I had it here, kind of just danced around it up here. And came down to VWAP. Let's see where I'm at. Oh, yeah, that's right. So I didn't have a less aggressive bullish channel yet, which there probably was one. Oh, this white one. That could have been it. What was that trade? 1026 in a call. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I had completed the cup. There was a gap up there. I thought it might want to fill the gap. We had the cup completed. This looked like all liquidity here to be grabbed. I got in a call right here. So yeah, I had green at that point, and this was as good of a retest as I thought I'd get. It had broken my magenta or my red also, which made me a little less comfortable with it, because this was my lowest bullish channel until white, but I didn't have white yet. So anyways, got in on this green candle, and I think my stop was probably the red, but maybe I had a steeper white in there, and that's what stopped me out. Let me see. 61 cents, close it for 50 at 10:30. Yeah, so it was the red. I closed it for 50 right here. Lack of structure. If I waited for better looking structure, that would have saved me. Or breaking the purple, of course. That's kind of, I guess I'm trying to catch it on the support, which is risky if your support lines aren't, if you're not quite, don't have everything drawn like this. Or if you're doing without structure, without a head and shoulders or something. So stopped out of that one. I still believed in it. Like, it came down and I was like, well, technically this wick completed this cup, but then I started looking for, well, no, I didn't actually, but yeah, it came down further. I thought I missed it. I should have gotten in right here once it retested this red. And I could have, that could have been a trade down to low of day. Like, that very well could have been one with gold to manage your risk. 1039. So 1038, 1039 calls. However, once it broke gold and this looked like a nice head, honestly, I thought this did just wick down. We have all liquidity up here. I'm gonna try and take calls. So at this point, the calls could have been just retracement, could have been an inverse handle. I wasn't too sure which one of those I was trading for. I just figured most likely bulls and bears wanted to bounce, at least to VWAP. And so this was a quick one. And today I was kind of trying to just really be more precise on just trying to score like a half point move. Because the dollar amount's small. I'm only trading one contract on SPY. It's really small, so I can't really look at the dollar amount. So 1038, I got in. It wasn't a great fill. It was a little green. This would have been a better fill, but nice little inverse head and shoulder here. This is the structure I wanted, and that's what made me get it. So from here, I did close it like right about here, just on the next minute. So 679.55, 680. Yeah, so it was about half a point. That was 51 cents to 59 cents. And then next trade was at 1052, also a call. So came up, it broke purple and retested it here a bit. I was kind of waiting, I guess, for green. To me, it was in the middle of the wedge, this red and green. Merry Christmas. Started rallying up. Quite a bit of increased volume, big full body candle. Came up here. I actually jumped into calls like right here. Thought about waiting for the retest, but I'm like, I don't need to. I'll get in. I'm only gonna do one contract. Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, so I jumped in, had white at that point, and then actually I drew orange later for this even steeper buying precision. So got in like here. Could have jumped in earlier, like I was paying more, I guess, staring at it. I wasn't staring at it, just I tried to reserve my stamina in the market. Staring at candles is just burning fuel. And so try to just set alert and look at other stuff, do other things. So once this thing came up, it did hit my alert here. And yeah, but if I was just happening to look at it here, I could have seen volume pick up on this candle and it closed full body. Given it would have closed at resistance, so I would have had to jump in a little earlier. But you can see it already started buying up in the white before it got there with these like 3 candles. So potentially you could have. And you're still, you still have this inverse head and shoulders. The only thing is you have the resistance here of green. So this is your trade right here from here to green. With, I would say, probably this low being your stop just for the inverse head and shoulder structure. But if you're doing the channels, probably this red one. And you could put it up here on the body. But anyways, it broke here. I grabbed it. Let's see. 80 cents. Closed it next minute for 88 cents. So this was another like half point. Yeah. 80.96. 81.30. Yeah. It was somewhere in here. So it was more than half a point maybe. But the slippage was pretty bad because I was opening on a after volatile, the slippage was bad. The big green candle before it. If it was a little more settled, I probably would have been a better trade. Bars percentage, 52 to 53. Yeah, right here. So close it here. I wanted high of day. I had a market for high of day. I also wanted to top a white because I had just charted that. Didn't want to be greedy, I guess, and I just was like, I've got my half point. This is nice. Oh, actually, when I closed it, it wasn't at the top of that candle, of course. This was turning a little bit red, so it wasn't the nicest fill. And that's basically why I got it. Since it was a bit of a chase anyways, this turned a little red. I'm like, it very well could come down and retest. I don't want to hold through all that. I didn't have gold at that point. I was like, even my white buying is so far away. So yeah, it got a little red and started losing momentum. That's when I closed it. Which was fine. It ended up just completing the cup, and really nice structure actually. Nice clean cup, nice clean inverse head and shoulder, given there's some chop around there. And then built nice liquidity up here for this next shoulder at the cup. So I got pretty confident in this. I saw the gap to be filled. I was just waiting, trying to be patient, and we got some big candles. Did I consider shorting it? Maybe for retracement. I didn't want to try and I don't want to overtrade, I guess. I don't know. I could have on it's even kind of wicking above the green, but I use green to manage my risk. Yeah, I would have had to open it on this red candle. I maybe stepped away at that point too. I had 2 green trades in a row there, and I was pretty happy about it. So I was maybe getting some food. Yeah. So next trade was at 11.09. Oh yeah. So pretty confident in this cup and handle, right? I pretty much know where I'm managing my risks with red. Then I had white also, which is a nice ascending support. I even had green, so potential for the retest. And all of those converged right here, right on VWAP. So the unfortunate thing is that it broke the red, broke into the green, broke my white, broke VWAP. So you can see where I'm going at with this. Nice 2 green trades. And then at 11.09 I got a call. Yep. So it did make nice little structure too. A little early. Yeah. So this candle retesting green and white. I got in like somewhere on this candle. Came down here, retested VWAP. Nice big reversal candle. I got in like somewhere around here on this green candle. I'm like, all right, my stop's gonna move down here at red. And really I want to probably get more. I want to scale into this thing for this trade. So 11.09, I got one for 60 cents. 11.11, I got one for 57. So right here, I got one for 57. So at this point I had 2. Oh, and then this was a mistake. Yeah, this sucked. And then 11.12, I was trying to buy 2 more, actually. I was really trying to scale into this thing. Which was a bit too soon. In hindsight. To me, it was just bouncing off of green perfectly, and I was like, I just want to scale into this. Didn't have a structure. You don't always get structure, but so much nicer when you do. Sorry about that. So at 11.12, I tried to buy 2 more, and I actually sold the 2 I had. Ridiculous. So bought the first one for 60, second one for 57, and then sold them both for 59. So I guess it's a break-even trade. It was just annoying, and I try not to get flustered and just kind of stay focused. But I immediately wanted to get back in, of course, because yeah, I'm like, I still want it, and to me, it's done everything it needs to do to trigger for me to get in. So at 11.13, I got back in, and by that point, it was 66 cents. So I just closed for 59 cents. I reopened here for 66 cents, and then I got another one at 11.14. Yeah, I'm still scaling in for 58 cents. I was on this one. I'm like, yep, I'll do it. Still not really good structure, which my success would probably go up if I would just have better structure or just wait for a better structure. So I need to probably do that. Some days you don't get any trades with structure, I feel like, or at least that I can see, and it's just channels. Other days it's like the channels line up with like structure and it makes sense. Yeah, so 11.14 got one, and then 11.15 I got one, so 58 cents and then 54 cents. I got one on this candle. This candle was like right here when I got it on the green, and then this thing just full bodies into the red, breaks VWAP, all its liquidity here. At that point I already made that mistake up there, and now my sizing is still large, and yeah, I got it at the beginning of that candle, actually, that 11.15 like here comes down, and I just needed to sit. I closed it here, yeah, like on the bottom of this candle. Oh, I just need to look away. I need to do some push-ups or something. Yeah, because that was bad. That was 66 cents, 58 cents, 54 cents. Those were all my buys, and then I sold them all for 47 cents. I didn't look at my P&L at all. And even after that, I didn't look at my P&L. But I was like, you know what? It wicked here. I'm like, yeah, I know that. I should have waited for the candle to close. I know that. This was just painful, and I need to get more comfortable being uncomfortable. And then it started wicking here. I'm like, dang, this very well could be a nice little inverse head. And it was just, my lines are a little bit off, a little too hasty. And then we get an engulfing candle here. And then I'm like, all right. I was a little upset. And I was like, well, I still like this trade. So on this candle, I actually got a call. I just got one. I didn't actually have buying power for 2 at the strike I wanted. I got one right here. And I was like, all right, I'm setting an alert for down here. If it crosses down here, I'm going to close it. And I'm setting an alert for the gap fill, which was up here. I was like, and I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to do other stuff. Yeah, you can tell I was a little pissed. But this is kind of how I need to trade, especially a small account. It'd be better to do with runners instead of just one contract. But anyways, so yeah, I just bought it and sat on it. So this just sat on it. It was nice. It was red. It was green. I don't even know. I wasn't even looking at it. I actually opened up my big account, and because once it broke green here, I was like, you know what? I want this on the big account too. So always, isn't it? Let me show you what I did on the big account, because to me, the small, oh no, turn out the lights. The small account, I was kind of, I guess you call it a lotto. It was basically just, yeah, I don't call it a lotto though. I would say it was just, I had an idea in mind, and I thought it'd play out, and I was confident with it, and it was just my, is this not gonna do this? Let's see. All right, it was just my basically poor execution that got me out of it. So anyways, I actually got 3 on the big account right here. I'll just show you. I remember I got 3 on the big account here, and kind of with the same mentality. I want high of day for the first profit. I want maybe the white for the second one. We'll see what's going on. And then third one, I want gap close. So it did this. Of course, this contract I got down here on small account's doing good, and this one I'm kind of managing, but literally, yeah, this one I got. Maybe I got it here. Didn't get a great fill, but by the time it was here, it was like break even. It was like flashing green on some of these and then red. I'm like, what in the world? I mean, it's not what in the world. It's a tight range and it's barely moving, so it makes sense. Then we get our grab liquidity here to complete this inverse or this cup and handle. Rallies up. I throw white in there. It comes down. I'm trying to think where I closed. I closed one of them here. I closed a second one, I think, here on the big account. And then, let's see, on the small account, I actually closed here too, which I'm so thankful I did. I was like, I can't be greedy, it's slowing down, but just having that mindset when I opened up here helped me to hold all the way through all this junk. Which stretched me in a good way. Which I'd rather be doing it with runners again. Like, I'm looking for half point moves, but at this point I was like, well, I'm out of buying power. I think it's gonna work. Where would I have stopped out on it? It would have been quite red. I probably wouldn't have taken a break even. Maybe I would have once it was green enough, because break even would have been down here. I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about that, honestly. I was pretty confident, so that definitely helps. Yeah, so I closed out the small one, and the big one I closed out all three by up here. And here's a small account. So went from quite red, I think, to a little bit green. Yeah, $10 a day. So I'm stoked. It's green day, and that last contract was 62 cents to $1.11, so almost 100%. Yeah, pretty much 100%, right? Just about. Here are the other trades. So there was the red one, there's a red one, and then green, green. And then this mistake was a red, and then this was not a mistake, and it was even more red, and then one big green trade to swing it all the way back. Yeah, if only I had that scaling. Dang, I had to be more patient. If I had the scaling, so I was going for 4 contracts. Given I wouldn't have held them all to here, but would have been nice. And big account, yeah, big account's nice and green. And I literally just, yeah, I was like, I'm green, this is good. I stepped away and just let it do its thing, and didn't feel the need. It's been good because I've had other things to do outside the market lately, and I think that's kind of helped me get a step away and let stuff go. Although I did see this, I was in the kitchen, I was like, could have definitely caught a retracement, but you know, it would have been tough. It would have been tough, I guess, with what I had charted at that point. Yeah, who knows? But figure out a candle with volume. I probably would have charted another, or this is kind of like my white. I don't know. I didn't mess with any of this stuff. No, this is a little bit different angle. I don't know if I would have recharted this, because this just looks like it's, you know, wedge. I don't know if it's an actual algo here. I don't know. Yeah, I maybe would have messed up and probably overtraded through here. This one would have been nice to catch in a day, head and shoulders, last 10-minute move. Breaking the white also. Kind of a cool little trade there with orange. Your precision selling. What I got, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We'll see you tomorrow. Merry Christmas. Peace out.